Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is a 212A. It's a Tier 9 Soviet SPG. It's located on the west spawn of Airfield under the command of Saadharta of REBRN. Now this Arty has got the 203mm howitzer. I can tell that because it's got a short barrel, and it's also got alpha damage of 1050 hit points, penetrating 52mm of armor if it can. Well, he's headed off to the north side. Looks like he's getting in amongst the trees and the rocks. Or is he? No, he's actually decided to go into the bushes, I think. No, he's changed his mind. He's going up again. Now, if you're wondering why this Arty's got red tracks, we don't know. We really do not know why it's got red tracks. The skin was kindly provided by Sir Rusty and Jazz, and when they actually provided the skin, it had normal tracks, but for some reason the model has actually gone red. But people say they like these red tracks. They think it looks quite neat. So who's to knock it? We just carry on using it. Plus, of course, it's a great skin because it's got our logo on the side. And of course, it was free. Yes. Now we're getting reticule drift again. That's a mod fault with Aslains. We don't know why it happens. It probably just happens on my PC. I'm not using any cheat or anything like that. It's purely a mod fault. Somebody did say, oh, you must be using a cheat because your reticule keeps drifting to the left or to the right. No, it's not. It's not drifting. It's a mod fault. It's a visual error. I don't know why, but it does still go towards the aim point. If you've noticed, the shell always goes towards the aim point. Even if the reticule drifts off the page altogether, the shell still goes straight. There, he's doing it again, you see there. Or is he? No, he actually changed his aim deliberately there. He's now aiming towards Temple Mount. I call it Temple Mount because there's a temple, or there's a couple of temples up there, and there's an amphitheatre. And he just got a direct hit on that pattern. So he's picked up his first hit points from the game. Now somebody managed to get into the pocket. And we've got a mouse and an E75 waiting on the heavy alleys. Our 257's holding that pass. And there's an UDES 16, which is the medium tank. Oh, looks like we're going to get a chance to shoot at a mouse. Rounds out. Splashes him for 328. Now the great thing about the 212A, which is based on the KB220 hull, is you get a huge amount of ammunition. But it's not just the fact that you get good ammo. It's also the fact that you can use vents on this Arty, which does improve the performance dramatically. That and the fact that you don't have to research the 203mm gun, because if you had the SU-14-2, then you would have already researched the exact same howitzer. And so there's nothing to research, you just go straight to the top gun right away. Well, the E75 replaces the mouse, rounds out, and he takes a shot for 222. Now something else is another tip which I can pass on as being motor mouth. Yes, I do speak a lot during these videos, but it's a little tip for Arty players. Is to say, during any battle like this, try to hit as many different enemy tanks as you can. Oh, our Object 257's on fire. Oh, I do hope he fixes that quick. Certainly helps if you've got a crew which is trained in firefighting, I can tell you. Going for the E50. Rounds out. Lands where it was supposed to go, but or near where it was supposed to go. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying about hitting as many of the enemies as you can. There's a good reason for this. The more enemy you hit, the more chances you're actually going to end up with the Confederate medal. Because if you can spread the love around, so spread the HE around on the enemy, then chances are you will pick up a Confederate medal, and that might mean that you'll get the Courageous Resistance medal, even if you, or not Courageous Resistance medal, but you will get courageous resistance, which means you earn more XP and more credits at the end of the battle, even if you lose. So it's definitely worth doing. Just hit as many of the enemy tanks as you can, but try to hit the ones which are being the most threatening to your teammates if you can. And if the enemy does bunch together in a huge bunch of them trying to get round a corner, they're all forming up a line to shoot, fire in a big premium round into that mix if you can, and hit all of them at the same time, because that will earn you a massive amount of hit points as well as XP, and potentially earn you that Confederate medal. But most of you probably already knew that. Just even if you didn't know it. Oh, and that wreck was moved, which means somebody happened to have pushed it. And I suspect there's a tank was just in front of it. So Saadharta fired the round in, and hopefully he got some hit points off that. Now he's dialing in on the IS-7, and he's still loading. The IS-7's been killed, so he's going for the pattern instead. I'm pretty sure he's hit that pattern before. Switching to the E50. Now he's very low on hit points. It'd be very nice if you could get a shot on that one, because he could probably get a splash kill off that. But it's a difficult shot from this angle. At the very least, if that E50M comes back, he might be able to stun him, and that would certainly qualify as well. Our E50M's going down to have a quick look. He might decide to go over the edge and try and get at that. Yes, he is. Wow. And he hasn't got that much in the way of hit points either. And he just took the other guy out. Okay, Saadharta's decided to move to a new firing position. And that M46 pattern is still on Temple Mount. Oh, new target. Gorilla 15. Okay, he's sitting just behind that rock. Probably trying to shoot through. There he is. Rounds out. Oh, he stunned him. He definitely stunned him, because he had stun on. Looks like he used his first aid kit to get rid of the stun very, very quickly. Well, that mouse is being cornered now. He's firing on the 257, but unfortunately we lost the 257 to the gorilla. The mouse has gone down though. E50's gone. So the enemy's got 3 tanks and 3 Arty now. That M46 pattern is one of the ones in the centre. There's a Foch on the south end of the map, and I think there's an Object 432 on that hill in grid square J9. Okay, new firing position, sitting just behind the Waffenträger. And there's the Foch. He's dialing in. Hasn't marked the target. That sometimes does help a lot. Oh, he has now. There's the 432. He's actually moved. Saadharta's decided to pull back just a little to avoid being spotted. No shot at the moment. Still got a red line. The M46 has been spotted in the south, And the enemy Arty's been spotted as well. And yes, he's going straight for that straight away, because the enemy Arty has to stay still in order to shoot accurately. And so, yes, now we know where he is. Rounds out. Lands next to where he was seen. Not sure if it did any damage, but I suspect it did. It's got no shot in the 432 or the pattern at the moment because they're in the lee of those rocks, but the Striv will probably get around and find out where they are. Might be a good idea to put a... Oh, there's the 46. Rounds out. Splashes in for 140. And there's one of the enemy Arty. The M53, M55, seen at the back of the map. We're not loaded, so we can't do anything about it just yet. The scores are now even. 5 each. We lost the Striv. There's the pattern. Even if we got a direct hit on him, it's still not going to kill him outright. Not unless we get a penetration. Getting lots of tanks being spotted now. Lots of Arty being spotted. Unfortunately, we're not loaded, so we can't do anything about it. Oh, the Foch goes down. The M53, 55 goes down. Here comes the GWE 100 and Saadharta's almost loaded. He's ready to go. And that guy was killed. We lose our teammate. We fire at the 212. And yes, we hit him. 438 hit points. There's only one Arty left. It's the 212A. Oh, what happened there? I think he flipped on that rock. He hit the rock and flipped over. But they won the game because the M53, M55 wiped out the 212A. What a drama right at the end. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's a third-class tanker for Saadharta in the 212A. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 11 in that one. And he also picked up a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on my team. I did mention this during the game. Yes, it does actually work. You hit more enemy than anyone else. You pick up a medal. And of course, you get extra compensation if your team loses for you. Well, not if your team loses for you, but if unfortunately your team happens not to win, then you end up getting some compensation out of it. His win rate for that game was 1,715, which is very good indeed. So let's have a look at team score. Not the highest damage in the game. No, that actually went to the Gorilla 15 on the enemy team with 3,748 hit points, but he didn't pick up the high caliber. The next high scorer was the IS-7. He picked up a Pascucci's for 3,314. And after that, it was the Progetto with 3,114 hit points. And yes, you can see Saadharta managed 2,079 out of that. So that puts him 5th on his own team. And, well, quite a long way down the list. 8th on the list when you take into account the enemy team. The GWE 100 on the enemy team also got a Confederate because he also hit the same number as Saadharta did. Now, let's have a look at number of kills. Well, yes, he didn't get any kills at all in that game, but the Waffenträger got 4, the IS-7 got 3, and the E50M got 2. So did the enemy E50M and their M46 pattern. And when it came to base XP, it was the IS-7, the Progetto 65, and then Centurion 7-1. Saadharta managed to carry 763, which puts him 6th on that scoreboard. He fired 14 rounds, got 2 direct hits, 13 penetrations, damage of 2,079 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 6 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he did get 464 hit points of stun assist of 13 stuns. On a free-to-play account, he earned 21,419 credits, and after ammunition resupply, yeah, unfortunately made a loss. I think he did fire a bit too many premium shells on that game, and as a result, yes, he did end up losing. At least I think it's premium shells. I'll have to check that actually. I think he only fired standard shells, but he just didn't get enough damage from those shells to actually generate enough return. You got 1 bond for getting the Confederate, 763 base, times 2 for the first victory, 5,000 for completing the mission and ops. I think that's holding ops. Took away 6,526 experience points altogether. Yeah, I'm pretty sure actually it was a case that he just didn't get enough hits on the enemy to actually generate enough credits to compensate for the number of shells he fired. These being the 203mm howitzer shells, they are slightly more expensive, and that's why he ended up with a small loss. If he'd actually had a premium count, I think he would have made a profit. So yes, it would have worked out better with a premium, but not everybody can afford a premium account because a lot of people who play this game are students. And I believe that Saadharta is a student, so that's probably the reason why he wasn't playing on a premium. So we still don't know why he rolled at the end of the game. It's just nothing extra, just the roll at the end. Yes, it was interesting. I suspect that what actually happened was he moved forward towards the enemy, and he wasn't looking where he was going. He was actually looking through the aiming view, and he actually flipped on a rock and then rolled all the way over at the end. And he came up right just as the game was already over. Oh dear. Well, it happens to all of us, I'm afraid. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.